So I was not thinking ahead when I started the dishwasher 10 minutes ago, and not thinking in general kind of defines my existence at the moment. I am losing my mind. I had a moment in class the other day where my professor said something that and I started laughing and could not stop if my life depended on it. I felt so terrible. This is what a mental breakdown feels like. I have so much to do all the time, but especially last week and this coming week. We have finals coming up, and so we're supposed to be outlining at the same time that we're job hunting, at the same time that we're finishing curriculum, and have 30 to 40 pages assigned per class per night, which takes like 4 hours to do, by the way. And major paper due Sunday. Have barely made any progress on that. Basically, my life is falling apart, and the only hope I have to survive for the next month until finals are over is to keep track of how it's falling apart. So that is what we are doing today. So today we're talking about how I rigorously schedule my week, how I make the choice to get rid of things when necessary or adjust a very unadjustable schedule, and to give you a sense of just how much homework there is. So this is a passion planner. You guys know that I actually bullet journal for most of my daily journaling, habit tracking, budgeting, etc. But bullet journaling takes way too much effort for me on a day-to-day basis, besides just doing one monthly spread. And so I use this passion planner, which really I'm underutilizing for all that it can do, as a weekly planner. So I've already gone ahead and filled out what my classes are going to look like, a couple class-related meetings, and then some events that I previously scheduled. But as far as homework goes, I haven't put any of that in here yet, or gone as far as scheduling my little in-between times and how I'm going to spend those. And this becomes my to-do list, which often is filled in from whatever I didn't do the week before. Speaking of which, let's go to the week before. This is what my planner ends up looking like. I've got all my homework down here, a couple little non-school related things that I want to remember to do. Okay, back to this week. So first things first, we're just gonna check my Google Calendar. I just wanna make sure that I'm not missing anything that should be going into this weekly planner that I've pre-scheduled ahead of time on my phone if I saw an event at school or something like that. So let's see, we've got Torts, an Azu movie night, just classes, more classes. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I've put this public defender panel on here. So let's do that. That's on the 14th at noon. At WashU, we all have a scheduled lunch from 12 to 1. There's no classes. And so that's when pretty much every single event is scheduled, unless the speaker can only come at night or they expect an inordinate amount of people to be able to go. So we're just gonna put that in there because I don't wanna schedule over it. We've got this lecture that I signed up for a while ago. Oh, and that's right, I moved this conference. So that's an important thing to adjust. That conference is for my paper, so I don't wanna miss that. So we've got that in here, and then we're going to this auction, which I'm super excited about. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, I think that's everything that I've scheduled in my Google Calendar, so we are good to go there. So next up, what we're gonna do is just mark which classes I have which day so that I can go and look at the homework. I know I have Torts on Monday, and that's my only class. My only other commitments that day are this workout session that I like to go to. Honestly though, probably not gonna make it this week, just the level of homework that I think that I have, but we'll get into that in a minute. So just Torts as far as homework goes. Tuesday, I have contracts, and then I'll have property, and then I'll have torts. So Tuesday, I have 3 classes. In property, I'm on panel, if you can see that there. So what panel means is that instead of being like randomly cold called with the professor just picking somebody out of a group of 90 students with no idea if you're going to get picked or not, Panel is basically a group of maybe like 6 to 10 students that you're told ahead of time, okay, you're gonna be on panel today. You are going to be called on today, but you won't be called on the other days as far as reading goes. So that's like the most important day for you to be prepared for the reading. And so you definitely don't want to skip out on it. You want to spend a lot of time so that you are able to be present in class. But, you know, if something happens, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so Tuesday, we got that. Wednesday, I have contracts and property. Normally, I have legal practice as well, Wednesdays as well as Fridays, but because of our big paper, we don't have class this week. So on to Thursday, I have contracts. Yeah, I think that's right. Contracts. Sometimes we have been missing classes on Thursday, and so I just wanted to double check. But I know we are missing torts on Thursday, so just contracts and property again. And then Friday, I don't have any classes. I'll be at school all day because of meetings. And Zumba, which I will go to for sure, because I've missed a lot of them and they're super fun. We have a great Zumba instructor. So I think that's it as far as homework to determine. So now we're going to go on to, let's do torts first. The hard thing with torts is, well, there's a lot of hard things with torts. My professor doesn't tell us more than one day ahead what we'll get to, because we usually don't cover in class everything that we read, and so then it will go on to the next day. So I know he told us to read all of damages, which, if you can see, I'll do the math for you. It's like 40 pages. Normally, you would have 10 to 15 pages of reading a night per class, at least for my classes. But scheduling, I would not say, is my torts professor's forte. So I'm thinking I'm gonna be skimming these 40 pages, and we probably won't even cover it all on Monday. I doubt we'll even have homework Tuesday. I'm gonna put damages in here and write down all the page numbers. So that, by the way, will take me probably 4 hours if I just read it super carefully and detailed. And I'm literally filming this Sunday. This is due tomorrow. I don't have 4 hours. Okay, that's not cute or pretty, but there it is. Next, let's go into property. I might need my physical syllabus for this one. So I think I wrote it on here. Yeah, I did. In every law school class, you're gonna get a syllabus on the first day or before the first day, and it lets you know the policies the professor has for the class, and probably the level of reading for different assignments, but you won't necessarily know which assignment is for which day or how many assignments are for which day. And so this professor gives us a prediction at the end of each week what the assignments will be for the next week. And we usually stay pretty on track. So next week, I know we have 21 pages of reading for Tuesday. Wednesday is 24 and Thursday is 31. And again, these are all like large amounts of reading. And property, especially the last couple weeks, has been so hard because it's really dry. And at least more recently, has been much more about terms and the types of estates that you can have, and less about, I don't know, policy, I guess. Less about application and reading cases, and more about just reading kind of like boring explanations of law. I'll read the first one because I'm on panel, super detailed, but the other ones are to be determined. So we've done 2 of my classes' homework for the week, and you can tell damages, I wrote everything out right here just because I could. I had the space to do it. Now I don't have to go back and look at that syllabus. And then I didn't even put anything for torts on Tuesday because I personally don't think we're going to have any additional reading just because of how much this is. There's no way we're going to cover that. And I'll leave it blank. I'm not going to say none just in case I'm wrong. I can always fill it in later. As far as property, though, you saw the syllabus. I can't write all of this down into tiny little lines. And so I just wrote the number of assignment. I will have to go back and look at it, but at least I have something there reminding me that I have a lot of homework. Also, you'll notice that sometimes a professor will tell you to skip a certain case within a reading. Listen, reading extra homework isn't going to help you. It's actually just going to take time away from homework that you do need to be reading to be prepared for class, prepared for learning, and prepared for the exam. My contracts professor is a little different from the other two in that she puts a lot of the information we need about our assignments online. And so we have these things called study guides. She tells us what the assignments are, the office hours, a little bit of explanation as to what we'll be learning, just so we have an idea before we come to class. Okay, so Tuesday looks like it's gonna be a little complicated. So we're doing mutual mistake and changed circumstances, just this first one. So this is what I'm going to need to put in my planner. So let's do that. Okay, so we've got that in here. Time to move to Wednesday. It looks like she wants us to read ahead a little bit. We're just doing this Williams v. Walker case. Plus we want to read the supplements. So maybe I should explain what supplements are. For my contracts class, the supplements are the restatement second of contracts, which is essentially just when a bunch of people who are really good at law looked at what courts tend to do around the country when it comes to a specific issue, and then they write that out. Sometimes that can be adopted as law by a court, but in and of itself as a restatement, it isn't. It just gives you a sense of predictability as to what the court might be looking at. And then we also have the UCC, which is basically almost always followed for the regulation of goods and contracts that have to do with goods. But supplements don't have to be restatements or the UCC. It could be a book explaining legal writing or a treatise. It could be literally anything that your professor gives you that isn't the case book that they want you to be reading. And the purpose is to help you understand the class better. Sometimes supplements are required, sometimes they're optional. For contracts, they're required. All right, so what we've done so far is we have filled in all the homework that I can. Looks like kind of weird on the screen, but that's because Friday I usually have homework and I don't. And we haven't filled this in yet, and then Wednesday looks a little lacking because I just don't have a lot, which is great. So what I do know is I have a lot this day, and this is also the day that I upload YouTube videos, which is why I think we're gonna be skipping the workout. Sorry, body. So for Monday, what we're gonna do is we're gonna schedule this block of time right here. Honestly, I'm not even gonna be like ready to go at all before this point on any day. And so we're just gonna block that out, set realistic expectations. This time right here, I think we're gonna work on YouTube if we need to finish torts. And then the big thing is property. The thing is I'll be at school and I won't have my property book. And so I think property is really gonna be this time right here. And then I'm sure I'll have more to do. So we'll put more property down here. And then I also will need to do contracts. Ah, crap. Property and K. K is for contracts. That's gonna be a late night, but what night isn't at this point? I know it's weird that I have to like remind myself to eat dinner, but I literally have to remember that that's also something that's gonna take up time. Even if I get this property done here, I'm gonna need to start working on this one immediately. So yeah, we'll have this contracts done. We don't have anything for that. This is just gonna keep plugging away at property. And then we're also gonna put in some work for my paper, my LP paper for legal practice, and my outlining. Okay, so it's my best friend Sydney's birthday on Thursday, so I'm gonna need to get stamps. We're just gonna put that here and go to a store at some point. Thanksgiving plans, yeah. I think I'm gonna go to Chicago, but I haven't talked to anybody about that. So we should start sending some text messages. We also need to do this application I'm working on. Isn't this sad? This is just my life. It's just a list of homework. But I guess it's not really sad. It's exciting that I'm in law school. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, it's a ton of work. This is what my schedule looks like on a Sunday. It definitely gets filled out as things go. I know you're like, how could it even get filled out more? But it can. As I check things off or don't and have to move them, as things get rescheduled or a last minute event comes up that I want to go to. I think a board that I'm on is trying to schedule a meeting, so that'll have to fit in here somewhere. And then obviously this homework can adjust every single day depending on what we do in class or don't do in class. So hopefully this gives you a sense of just how much your life revolves around law school when you're a law student. It literally is all that I do. Even this movie night is just a bunch of law students talking about something legally and biblically related, so I'm excited about that. But it is seeming to come right at the busiest juncture, which will be the beginning of the week. Looks like I'm gonna have a big rush here, a couple days to hopefully get ahead. Lord knows I probably won't, but I can. And then everything's gonna depend on this deadline right here, priority number 1 from this point forward. So yeah, that's my schedule. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you found it helpful. I always find it helpful to at least write down what's going on, even if I know that there's no way I'm going to accomplish it all. Because one day, it'll all be done, or it won't matter. So hopefully I will see you guys next Monday with another video. Who knows what it will be, but my paper will be over. A lot of my readings for the rest of the semester will be done, and outlining will be in full swing. So if any of those things in particular interest you, let me know in the comments below. Please like this video, subscribe, and as always, God bless.